All right. Well, hi, everybody. My name's Amanda Macaluso, and I am the camp director at Camp AHWH Hayo-Went-Ha. I'm very, very excited to have you guys coming to camp any week now. It's coming very quickly. We're all getting ready here at camp, and our staff training starts on June 1st. So we're going to have our staff here for 2.5 weeks, and then you guys will be here and joining us. So just a quick little 20 minutes or so Zoom tonight. I just want to kind of go over the biker trip. I'll give you a little bit of a rundown, and then we'll, of course, answer any questions at the end if I've missed anything or you have a particular question. This summer, first session, we have 2 cabins of bikers, and second session, we have 3 cabins of bikers. Our bike trip, looking at all the registrations, there's only, I think, 5 new campers, 2 first session and 3 second session. So if you're on the line and this is your first year with us, this is really just a brief overview of the trip, but feel free to email me any questions that you might have just about our camp in general, being that it's your first year. And even if it's not your first year, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to email me. But I want to just quickly introduce a couple of staff. We've got Sophie on the line, as well as Eleanor. Sophie, if you want to go first, Sophie was a biker counselor last summer. So do you just want to give us, do you want to just give us a quick summary of your trip from last summer, Sophie?
Okay. I'm Sophie. I went on the trip first session last year, and it went well. We didn't have anything go wrong. It went super well. And for my trip, we started in Gaylord, and it was really good. My campers loved it. We got to, one of the nice things about the biker trip is you get to sort of pick what you eat, because you're basically given money for food, and it's a more urban trip. And Mackinaw Island was the hit, I think. And then, yeah, it was good.
Awesome.
It was, yeah, good exercise. I love biking now. It's one of my new personality traits. So.
Yay! And Sophie, you're coming back this summer. So I'm excited I'm excited to see what trip you'll get this year.
Me too.
Yeah. So Eleanor, you did the trip last summer as well, and did you ever do it as a camper as well?
No, I didn't do it as a camper, but I did it first session, same as Sophie, with a different cabin. And I would say the best part of it was honestly those longer days. So I think our longest day was 55 miles, and it was hilly, and we had the UP surprisingly is actually hilly, and the wind's blowing at your face. But honestly, when you get to the campsite and you've figured out what you want to eat and assembled that, then it's very satisfying. It's like, oh, we got here and everything went well. But then there's also the day that you see Lake Superior for the first time. It's like, oh, that's really cool too.
Nice. And don't you camp along Lake Superior on one of the spots?
Yeah, you do. So it's an interesting route because you go east instead of straight north and then west, because you end in Whitefish Point area, right?
Tahquamenon Falls.
Yeah. So you go east, but it's cool.
Well, thanks, Eleanor. Eleanor's also coming back this summer, so I'm excited to see what you're going to do this summer as well. So just a little summary, like the girls said, it is, we start in Gaylord, Michigan. So we drive over there with our trailer of bikes and drop you off just behind the soccer field in Gaylord. And then you ride the North Central State Trail, which is like a bike trail. It's like crushed limestone, especially for bikes. I think it used to be an old railway road train track. And you go all the way up to Mackinaw City. And then I'm sure you're all thinking but wait, how do we get to the UP? And like Sophie said, that's the highlight of the trip. We catch the ferry across to Mackinaw Island, do a little biking around Mackinaw Island, maybe some fudge samples while you're there. And then we catch the ferry back over to St. Ignace. So that gets us up to the UP. And then we go towards like Cedarville, kind of towards Drummond Island, and then, like Eleanor said, up and kind of over. And we meet the group at the end of the trip at Tahquamenon Falls. So about 200 to 220 miles, depending on the routes. I know it sounds like a lot, and there are longer days, but then there are also shorter days. So we kind of try and mix it up a little bit. But we do some practicing. We'll do a couple of rides here at camp before we take you up to the trail. But that leads me to suggest anytime you want to do a little bike ride prior to you arriving at camp, get on your bike and get a feel for what 5 or 6 or 7 or 10 miles is, because there's going to be some of those days and more. So, get used to your bikes. What else? We've got, if you have your own bike and you would like to bring it, by all means, please do. Just make sure you have the repair kit and the tools that you need specifically for your bike. We do have bikes here. We're going to put that as part of the overall fees, so there's no additional fee for a bike. And we have a lot of them here. We were lucky enough to get some donations last summer, and we bought 10 new ones to add to our fleet. We have our friend Ben, the bike guy. He comes every year and maintains the bikes. He actually checks all the brakes and all the gears and all the wires and all the spokes and all the seats and all the things that so he makes sure that they're all ready. And then he will also come back in the middle of the summer and make sure that the bikes, if they go again, that they are maintained between sessions. So you'll get a bike that's ready to go and being checked by Ben. What else? We've also got a really neat packing list. I think I sent that to everybody, and I'll send it again with this recording. But just make sure you go through the packing list and get what you need. I think the top and most highlighted thing are bike shorts. And Eleanor and Sophie, what do you think? The padded ones, is that a highly recommended? Yes. Yep. They might be a little bit more expensive, but you're on your bike for over 200 miles. So think of your short choices so that you've got some padding. Your division leader this summer, just if you are coming back and camp, Karen Joe will be the division leader this summer. I'm pretty sure she's done the biker trip, both maybe as a camper and as a counselor. So she knows the trip really well, and she'll chat to you and make sure that you're all prepped and ready to go for that. Any questions at this point in regards to the bike trip, or any? No? Tara, you have your hand up. Would you like to end? Yeah.
Yeah, this is Tara's mom. I might have missed this at the beginning, but are they carrying their backpacks and the camping gear, or is there a truck that will meet them with all their stuff?
Yeah, so good question. They have everything they need on their bikes. We provide the panniers, which is like the little saddle bags on each side of the back wheel. Mm-hmm. If you bring your own bike, you will have to have your own rack. And I'll send a photo with this recording of the bike that we have, so you can kind of see what we mean if you are bringing your own bike. This trip, like again, Sophie said, the food situation is a little different because you stop at stores along the way. So we have menus and plans and everything, and we know where all the stores are. And that's kind of a little bit of a highlight too, because the campers can kind of participate in the purchasing and going into the stores and getting what they need, and then meeting as a group and kind of cooking. So it's not like you're carrying all the food. You're only carrying your personal gear and then that group gear, which is the tents and the stoves. So yeah, I hope that answers your question, but they will take everything, no support vehicle. Okay, great. And then, and so I guess you just divide the tents and the pans and pots between everybody. Yep. Okay, great. Yeah, that's a group thing. So we get all the campers all together, and they either take it in turns, or someone gets set with the poles and someone gets set with the fly and someone gets set with the main part of the tent. And there's a pot or two that they're going to have to share and carry. So we kind of distribute that amongst the group. So it's all a group effort in taking everything that you need. Very good. Thanks. Yeah.
Amanda, you have two things in the chat.
Oh, thank you.
Are you have any bears, and what kind of bike?
I have never heard of a bear on our bike trip. But I'm not saying that they're not up in the UP. We had one at camp last spring, so who knows where they are. But we'll do a little bear training. The plan is, if you do see a bear in your campground, obviously keep your food away and use the bear poles if they have them in the campgrounds, but also make a lot of noise if they're coming near you. And what kind of bikes? We use a hybrid bike. Again, I'll send out this recording and I'll send a photo of the recommended bike. It's kind of a mix between the road bike and a mountain bike. So the tires are a little bit wider. And that's what we found is the best bike for this trip. So I'll send a photo of that as well. I just see shirts. Shirts, I think anything that's comfy and kind of maybe those sports shirts that kind of wick away the moisture if it does get a bit hot and you're a bit sweaty. That's always recommended. We do ask the campers and the staff to wear a very nifty, trendy fluorescent vest, which isn't trendy at all. But that's just another safety feature that we have so that, you know, everyone can see that there's a group of bikers along the road. So we provide those. We have them all here ready to go, and they just go over, and they're really lightweight, but again, just another safety aspect. And then whatever shirt is comfy for you. And tank tops are fine as well. Depends what sort of tan you want. If you want your little farmer's tan, or if you'd rather like a more of a singlet tank top type tan. Tans are really, that's quite the thing to come back and, because you're out biking for 7 straight days, you're out in the sunshine and you get quite the tan, biker tan. Another question was cash. I think we take about $25 per camper, and that comes out of your store bill. And that's usually spent on Mackinaw Island buying fudge or maybe the little bike chains. A lot of the kids tend to buy little bike things that go on their necklaces. Sometimes a t-shirt from Mackinaw Island, but everything else, the camp, we will send money with the staff for anything like the permits. Some of the permits we've booked already. Some of them are first come, first serve, and we pay when we get there. And then all the food, it all comes out of that group camp money. But recommended for campers is probably about $25.
Amanda, you had one earlier. Do you know the counselors yet?
No, I know that's super exciting. We get everybody here and meet everybody and talk to everybody, and we see what all the staff want to do. Like some of them are really interested in being a biker counselor. So that's taken into consideration. And then as a senior staff, we'll sit down and select the staff that we feel is best for each program. So you'll have to be excited when you arrive. That's not anything I can tell you right now. So do they put their hair in braids? Do you, I think you do 2, right? Yep, that's usually the biker trend, and that helps with helmets and, you know, keeping it out of your face. Yeah. Well, great. Just a few other little things. What's new at camp? Super excited to have camp back. We're going to relax a few of our COVID precautions and expectations that we had from last year. So less masks and less cohorts. We're going to pretty much be back to somewhat normal as we can be. There could be some situations if we're all together and very close inside. So masks are on the packing list, and we'll have plenty here, but we're trying really hard to avoid that. We have a new dock that we're getting hopefully here in the next couple of weeks, which is very exciting. It's one of those very cool floating docks. So that should be here and it's ready. One thing I often try to make sure you all remember is make sure you pack for casino night. Anything crazy and fun and glittery and sparkly, make sure you pop that in your bags. If you're new to camp, it's just a fun night where we play some games and we have cookies, and we usually end up in a huge dance party. But again, it's just kind of that night where you wear the craziest outfit you can find. So make sure you pack that. Recruitment, we do, you guys, if this isn't your first year at camp, which lots of you have been here year after year, but if you know anyone who is interested in coming to camp, we do have some openings still, especially for our younger age groups, and actually for our bikers, if you've got friends that are interested in doing the biker program. But we do have a little bit of an incentive. If you recruit anybody from the 22nd of April till they arrive at camp, there's no real deadline, but if you recruit a camper, we are giving you some money for the camp store as a thank you for spreading the word and getting campers to sign up. And it's $200 if they come first session. So, and $100 for second session, and then a very cool flag with the camp logo, the heritage logo, which I have on. So if you know anybody, if you babysit or have neighbors down the road that might be interested in camp, certainly send them our way, and we can register them, and everyone wins. You guys win, they win, camp wins. So, all right. So how long is everyone at camp before the trip? That is a great question. And I have my trip schedule. I'm pretty sure the bikers leave the second week. So first session, everyone arrives on the 18th. The bikers leave on the 27th. So that's the second Monday. So a full week and a day. And then second session, because we have 3 cabins, 2 cabins will be leaving on that second Monday. So again, a full week at camp, and then a couple of days, and then they go. And then we're doing a swap in the UP. So the second group will head up on the 31st of July. And they'll all be together for that one night. And then the two cabins that have done the trip will come home on August 1st. So if you're in the second group, which I don't know which cabin that will be yet, you'll have 2 full weeks at camp before the trip. And then if you're in the first group, you'll have a full week. So good question. Yeah. Any other questions? Anything else anyone wants to ask? Anything to add, Sophie, Eleanor, anything that? Yay, Sophie.
This is one more thing that you could pack is bungee cords. Because you can't have too many of those. Because we have some at camp, but they're very in demand. So if you want to make sure your stuff isn't falling off the bike, that's a good thing to bring.
Great suggestion. And I also have lots in the store this year based on what we didn't have enough last year. We're going to have plenty this year. So we do have some in the store, and I think I'm only charging $2 maybe for a bungee. So, but grab some if you have some at home. That's a good idea, because that's the art of packing your bike is certainly a trick, and bungees will help. Well, great. Well, I don't want to take too much more of your time. This has been fun. It's always fun to talk about camp, and I'm here today, so it's fun to be here and getting ready for the summer. And again, if you have any questions, let me know. But I think this was pretty much what we have.